Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another time here. Welcome to another time at the book club. We got to do this every Sunday afternoon here, 2 p.m. West African time. That's what we got to do. And we've been reading through a book, the uh, Gold Mine Effect by Rasmus Ankersen. That's what we've been reading since the beginning of the year. It's taken us 8 months to go through this book. Hopefully we're gonna run it up today. We finished it a while ago. This is our fourth Sunday doing a summary review of the book. And we got up to chapter 7 last week Sunday. Today we hopefully we're gonna be done with chapter 8, and we'll come back next week, God willing, and we're gonna start with our new book. It's a confidence game. I'm all excited about this confidence game. You know, I remember when was that? 2010, I believe that was it. I got back. I got back from cross posted in 2010, and that was big in my heart. I'd learned that, you determine your path, you determine your lane. People get to follow the thing that has certainty in it. For there to be certainty, there must be an element of confidence in it. You know, that's how trends or fashion come about. Someone can wear a torn shirt right now, and depending on how confident he is in wearing it, people tend to think that he has a bit of a sense, a bit of a pattern to it, and people can easily follow it. People can follow anything. You can imagine people following the trend of not wearing belt, people following the trend of showing their pants, people following trends of torn cap, you know, raggedy jeans. You can form any part, for as long as in displaying it, you have a bit of confidence, you have a bit of a certainty, because people are looking for things that are certain. People are looking for things that have an anchor to it. If they can't get it themselves, they're looking for someone that has it. They're looking for something to latch onto, in the changing world and the uncertainties of life. People are looking for something, someone to latch into, and it behoves us, those that have certainty, not to abuse it. Unfortunately, gets abused. And that's one of the things we're going to be learning from this book: the abuse of trust. The abuse of trust is one way to go about it. As we learn the abuse of trust, hopefully we can also learn how to be more responsible with the trust people give to us. People give us their trust. It's up to us to be responsible towards it. When it comes to leadership, leadership is not something you take. Leadership is something that the followers give to the leader, and the leader has a choice. The leader can abuse it, or he can hold it responsibly in a way that will bring the followers to freedom. You know, they are bosses, who enjoy keeping their followers as followers forever. Those are tyrants. And we have some of them on the pulpits. You have some of them in offices, tyrants, because they are too scared. They're not confident in themselves. So that they build their confidence around imprisoning their followers. They want to make them ever followers. They don't want them to come to a place of release, a place of actualization, a place of their own freedom, because they are scared that that freedom might make them to be equal to or better than them, you know and that is the hell, or the downfall of a leader who is insecure in himself. Today I can say boldly, I have people that I've raised that are today they are apostles, people that I've raised that have their own churches. I don't have a church. In the workplace, there are people that I mentor that are bigger than me, have great higher than me, and that doesn't demean me. That doesn't take away from who I am. I am who I am, and nobody's better than me or less. We all have our different parts different lanes to run. For as long as you're faithful on your lane, that's all that matters in life. Success is not about comparing you to someone else, how you are better than someone else, how you are less than someone else. It's about you becoming on a continual basis the highest expression of all that God has made you to be. That's all that success is. No, it's not whether you're more anointed or you're less anointed. Someone is raising dead people to dead. You are from the dead. You are not raising people from the dead. Is that what God called you to do? Is that what makes you happy? Is that what moves your mottos? If it's not, then why compare yourself to the person? Just be good at what you have. Be a better version of yourself, and on a continual basis, grow and become better. Some people might get there in one day. Maybe you are getting there in 10 days. For as long as you're happy, for as long as you're contented, for as long as you have balance, equilibrium in your life, just take your time. We don't have the same clock. Some people run so fast and their life dies. Some people take a while and they stay forever. Just be yourself, love yourself. So that'll be our next book. We'll talk about the confidence game. We'll look at how people use it to swindle, but we'll also you look at how we can use it to help one another, grow one another. So I look forward to doing that starting from next Sunday. But today we're just gonna go back to our book. The confidence, the gold mine effect. That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna close it out today. We've had a good 8 months doing this. Wow. I never knew we are going to take 8 months to do this. When we started in January, but it is what it is. Like, what I say all the time, we're not in a hurry. We're going to take the time it takes to do anything that we got to do here. It's about what we get out of it. It's not how fast, it's not how slow, but we're going to soak as much as we can soak from it. And I hope you've been soaking as you come along with us. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've gained something. I hope your life has become better. Minus, I am not the same person I was when I started this year. I'm a much better person. I'm a success. I'm becoming better in that which I've set my heart to do. I'm becoming more confident in that which I've set my heart to do. Some things I used to be shaky about, I'm more confident about them. And I'm continually growing, getting better by the second, by the minute, by the day, by the week, by the month, by the year. And I hope that can be said of you also. So I'm going to bring up my slide like I typically would do, and we'll have a structured time here to close out chapter 8 and close out the book today. Alrighty. So I'm having to do Facebook Live today for the first time after a while. You don't get to see the slide. The slide you would see if you are either on my blogging site, my website, or you are on YouTube. But don't worry about it. You don't need the slides if you don't have it. I'm gonna put it later on Facebook, so you got to see it if you want it. I do have a group called the book club, with the saints. That's where I typically drop things, but you also find it on my page on Facebook. But don't worry about it. You can see the slide. We're gonna go through it and we'll run through everything. You don't see the slide, but you see me, and that's all you need. So yeah, going on to chapter 8 of our book, trying to summarize chapter 8 as we close the book. The quote that pretty much runs up the whole book itself is champions aren't made in gyms. Champions are not made in the gym. You go to the gym to work, but that's not where champions are made. They are made long before that. Yeah, they're made long before them. It's not just a walking of the muscles, it's a walking of the mind. Champions are made in the mind, right? So Muhammad Ali says champions are not made in the gym. Champions are made from something they have deep inside them. It's a desire, it's a dream, it's a vision. It only gets actualized in the gym, it gets actualized in the ring. What makes champions, what makes the great people is the desire they have. Mind is a thought, the desire they have, the dream they have, the vision they have. If you're working at anything and you don't have a desire, you are no better than a machine. You are no better than than a cow. It's the mind of man that makes a difference to the man. The liberation of a man, of a person comes from what his mind does, with whatever he's involved in or not. That's what differentiates us from ordinary animals, right? That's our leverage position, is how you bring your mind to whatever you're doing that determines the success or the lack thereof. So champions are not made in the gym. They are made from something that's much deeper than that. They are made from the vision they have. They are made from what they see of what their tomorrow should be. They are made from their vision of themselves, their outlook to themselves. Who do you see yourself as? How do you interpret your journey of life so far? How do you interpret where you are today? How do you interpret your tomorrow? Those are the things that make champion. If you cannot see yourself, in the place you want to be, you're not gonna get there. There's no magic around it. You're only gonna get to the place that you can see. That's what God told Abraham, even after Lot left him. He said, look north, look south, look east and west, as far as you can see, I will give to you. As far as you can see, I will give to you. What do you see? What do you see? You are limited by what you see. You are limited by what you see. If you can't see it, you can't get it. You are limited by what you see. If you can't see it, you can't get it. It's time to open your eyes to see what you want. See what you want. Don't believe any prophecy. Don't believe any word that is saying you can't have it. If you want it, you can have it. For you to have it, you must see it. You must see yourself having it. You must see yourself taking possession of it, because you are not going to rise above your belief. Right? You can want what you want, but you gotta believe you can have it. You gotta see yourself having it, unless you won't have it. Right? So champions, if you want to be great, you want to make it in life, you want to be the best in whatsoever you think you made up your mind to be, you gotta have a great desire for it, right? You gotta have a desire for it. You gotta have a dream for it. You gotta have vision for it, right? Your desire is a prayer. Your desire is a prayer. If you desire it, then you'll find a way. You'll find a way to get it. If you desire it, find a way to get it. If you don't desire, you find an excuse. You find an excuse how or why you shouldn't get it. You will listen to all the naysayers if you don't have a desire. But if you have a desire, you will find a way. You will either go under it, you will go beside it, you will go through it, but you'll find a way if you have a desire. If you have a dream, yes, you have something burning on the inside of you for it. It gives you you have a dream. It gives you a starting point, for moving towards the thing that you want. If you have a vision, it drives you. It drives you. We are all driven by the picture that we see. I'm talking right now, what you're seeing are pictures. Yeah, you're hearing words, but you're seeing pictures. And that picture of your tomorrow is what you need to make it in life, to be a champion, to win. Right, it's what gives you the fight on the inside. Remember, we say it's not the size of a dog in a fight. It's the size of a fight in a dog. It's the size of a desire in the dog. It's the size of the dream in a dog. It's the size of the vision in the dog. That's what makes the difference. That's what makes you to win in life or lack thereof. Right? So that's one of the things we shared from the book. We'll go on. The difference that makes a difference is who wants it most. Same thing was about the dog. You're going for something. How much do you want it? You're comparing people that want something. It's who wants it more? Who wants it more? Who's willing to pay the price for what you want? For whatsoever you want in life, there's a price for it. There are no free lunches in life. Whatsoever you want, there's a price for it. For me to be here to share this time with you, there's a price for it. It means I have to read the book, I have to study the book, I have to look at all the references here and there. It means I have to make out this time to be with you. There are other things that are competing for this time. So other things I could do, other things I could be crowding myself around. But because I have made up my mind, this is important for me. I've canceled every other thing to make this possible. I've canceled things that will make me be scouting for time, struggling from time to be here. That will make me not to be prepared when I come here. I've made up that time. I've made up my time to exercise so that I can do this in a way that there's an alignment between my body, my and what I'm saying, so that there's no distraction, there's no confusion of the message that you are receiving. I'll pay the price, to for my body to agree with what my mind is saying. That's why you're able to hear it the way you're hearing it. That's why it's coming out with confidence. I'm playing the confidence game on you because it's an alignment, with my being, the congruency with my being. I'm sounding to you like someone who knows what he's saying, but I wasn't born this way. How to prepare myself to be able to do this. Right. So whatever you want, there's a price for you to pay also. And whatever you want, just ask yourself, what do I have to do to get it? Right? You might not be that you will be able to do everything in one day. Start. Start where you are. Start with what you can do. Right? Don't be inundated. Don't be scared by the enormity of what it takes to get to where you want to get to. Just start. Take one day at a time. Step. Do what you can do. Do what you can do. Don't be worried about the things you can do. Do what you can do. Do what you can do. Do what you can do before you know it. You'll be doing the things you couldn't do before. Right? Because every step is going to make you better. Every step is going to grow you. Right? You become better than you were yesterday. You become someone that is able to do the things you couldn't do yesterday just because you started. Right? That's important. That helps. So motivation is the motivation is the emotional foundation of all excellence, right? There's gotta be a sense of wanting it. Motivation is not just an emotion. Motivation is a sense of wanting it. There has to be a place called there calling you. There has to be a magnet in front of you that's drawing you to itself, drawing you to a better tomorrow, drawing you to a better self, drawing to a better finance, drawing to a better marriage, drawing you to a better relationship, drawing to a better parenting, or whatsoever it is a need in your life, better health, that thing, that's your motivation. That thing that is drawing you in your future is your motivation, right? And it helps you to gives you the emotional foundation to build excellence in whatsoever it is that you want to do, right? So, um, so no matter who you are or what it is you're striving to achieve, you need a sense of where you are going to, that helps you, right? So I have some comment here. Let me see if I can read it. Sorry, I've got to wear my glasses to read it. So it's not as if I'm neglecting you. Thank you. Pastor Ben Okore. Thanks for coming along. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Been a while. Right. So any company trying to compete, must figure out a way to engage the mind of every employee, right? If you want to compete, you want to be better, you must not just appeal to the hands of your employees. You need to appeal to their mind. They need to be able to catch the same fire that you have. You are the owner of the company, you have the vision of the company, you have to sell it. That's the job of a leader. A leader is a visionary. You sell that vision to your people because if they don't buy that vision, you won't be able to get the perfect alignment of what they do and what they can do to achieve the vision. Right? Yes, they might just do the bare minimum just to get by. But if you want the best from them, you want them to be contributors, you want them to bring their mind into play in achieving that which you want to do. You want to have what we call a synergy, or you want to have what we call a mastermind relationship with your employees. You have to win them. You have to help them see why they should be a part of your vision, part of the journey that you are taking as a company. I would do that. I mean, my little company here, my firm would do that. We do that I do that with all the people that associate, all our stakeholders. I got to send the communication every weekend, keeping them abreast of where we are and where we're going, where we were, where we are and where we're going. And in a sense, that's a way to buy their mind, buy their buying, because they are open. Yeah, I'm open to them as to what we're doing, hoping that they can contribute, to the things we're going through and where we're going to make it better. I'm not just thinking that I'm the only one that can think it out. I'm not just depending on my one brain. There's only so much that I can see. I'm human, so I'm limited, but when we come together in unison, we'll get a better effect. It's what we call law of one plus one. I mean, the scriptures put it, ancient wisdom would say, that one will put to flight 1,000, but two will put to flight 10,000. That's what we call synergy. That's what we call the mastermind effect, right? There's only so much I can do, but when I join my mind with other mind, it becomes a multiplied effect, an explosive effect, it will gives you power to move things, to get things done. It causes a miracle. It's a miracle when one pack will put to flight 8,000 and two will put to flight 10,000, right? It's an explosive chemical reaction, not a mechanical reaction. So if you want to if you want to go far, if you want to go quick, let's say, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with other people. You get synergy, you get a mastermind relationship, mastermind effect, to help you on the journey. All right. Achilles in the movie Troy says that I want all men. I want what all men want. I just want it more. I want what all men want. I just want it more. That's what guarantees that I'll get it before them if there's only just one on the table, right? So, whatever it is you want out of your life, how much do you want it? How much do you want a better marriage? How much do you want a better parenting? How much you want a better relationship in your relationships in your life? How much do you want to do better in the financial world? How much do you want your bank account to give you freedom, financial freedom? Whatever it is. Question is, how much do you want it? Even God asks us that question. Sometimes, the Bible says, ask and you shall be given. The real translation is keep on asking. Keep on asking, because he that keeps on asking will receive. Right? Keep on asking. And your keeping asking shows how much you truly want it. It's not that you're asking one time. God is asking, how much do you really want it? How much you really want it will determine whether you just ask one time, two times, three times. God is asking, how much do you want it? It's not just asking that gets it. It's keeping asking, showing how much you really want it that gets it for you. Keep on seeking, because he that keeps on seeking will find. Keep on knocking, because it's he that keeps on knocking that the door will be open unto. It's not just necessarily one person that knocks one time. How much do you want it? How much do you want life? How much do you want life? That showed by your motivation. It showed by how much you ask it. It's showing by the congruency, the alignment of your life towards that which you want, or the lack thereof. If you're not ordered around the things that you want, it shows you don't really want it. But if you really want it, you will order your life in a way that is pointed towards getting that thing that you want, right? So get it, whatever you get out of life is a function of how much you want it. And here we're talking about high performance. That's what the book is all about. To the level of performance your life can exhibit, the level of performance that your life can work out is a function of how much you want it, how much you price the thing that you're looking for. Bible says of Jesus Christ, Bible says that because of a joy that was set before him, he endured, he paid the price. He paid the price because of the joy that was set up in front of him. He priced the joy. He paid the price. He priced the joy. He paid the price. How much do you price the thing that you want? How much do you want it? What price are you willing to pay for it? Are you willing to do the hard stuff today so that you can get it? Or you just still want to do the easy thing today, not paying any price, and you still want it? The universe does not work that way. The universe works by sowing and reaping, cause and effect, sowing and reaping, cause and effect, sowing and reaping, cause and effect. If you do the easy things today and not pay the price for the thing that you want, you won't get it, right? Your tomorrow will be hard because you won't have it there. But if you pay the price today, you're sure that you will get it, or something even better than you pay the price for. Because when you sow, you will reap. It's a law of life. It's a law of nature. When you sow, you will reap. You right? It might not appear so, but you will reap. Surely you will reap. you sow, you will reap. Supported by that scripture that Jesus says also. He says, give and you shall be given. Give and you shall be given. Give and you shall be given. Pay the price and you will get the result. Pay the price, you will get the result. Do the cost, you will get the effect. Do the cost, you will get the effect. And not just that, he tells us that it's going to come in a bigger quantity than what you gave. Because he said, give and you shall be given. Pressed down, shaking together, and running over. Will men give to your bosom? And guess what? He did not say what you should give because it tells you you give whatsoever it is that you give. Key things that you are giving something, you are paying a price, you are doing something, for to do towards that which you want. Is what you do towards that which you want that will get you that thing that you're looking for. That's just the way the scripture, the universe works. Is sowing and reaping, cause and effect, right? So people who accomplish great things usually combine a passion for a single mission, with an unwavering dedication to achieving that mission, right? Whatever the obstacle and however long it might take. Key thing is that you're paying the price. You're focused on what you want. Nothing beats a really burning desire, right? If you have a really burning desire, it's without doubt that the single most important predictor for world-class performance is a burning single desire. Right? Is how much do you want it? How much do you want it? How much do you want it? That will determine whether you get it or not. That will determine whether you'll get it as against someone else getting it. An act of sport, you know, it's normally said concerning those running horses that people bet on that what it takes between the first and the second is milliseconds, just a tiny little bit that takes between the difference between the first horse and the second horse. And the difference is just a little more effort. That little extra effort is what makes that winning horse to beat the second horse. How much little effort are you putting into life? How much more little effort are you putting to make the difference for you in the realm of life, in the realm that you need it, in the realm that you are focused on right now, in the place of your pain? How much effort, that little effort, are you putting in to make a difference, to bring rescue, to bring relief, to bring results, to bring about your dream, to bring about that which you want? It's up to you. Life is found in the extra zone, right? Going the extra mile. That's where life is found. If you do things just like every other person, there's really no reason why nature, why providence should work on your behalf. It's that little extra is what brings providence your way, and that little extra that you're doing to make you to differentiate yourself, will go a long way, right, to help you. That little effort that you do, is never wasted, right? It's give and it shall be given, right? So, we talked about the word self-efficacy as part of going through chapter 8. And self-efficacy is a word that, came into psychological world or psychoanalyst word, not too long ago, I believe 19, all right, I don't have a date here, but it's not too long ago that that word came into the vocabulary. Yes, 1997 is when it came into the vocabulary, by one of a psychologist called Albert Bandura, and it just refers to the ability, my ability to perform a particular task. It's that place where Henry Ford will say that if you believe you can, you're correct. If you believe you can't, you're correct. If that believe you can is that believe you can is what's called self-efficacy. It's the ability to perform, or your belief that you can perform a particular task, right? Your belief that you can perform a particular task. That's what we call self-efficacy, and that's important. You're not gonna win in life if you're not self-efficacious, because the first place where you win or lose in life is within you, not outside of you. A good percentage, probably 97% of the people that fail is because they never showed up. They just failed. They defeated themselves. They told themselves they couldn't do it. They told themselves they won't make it. They told themselves that they have nobody. They told themselves that they are not connected. Just like that man, at the pool, Jesus came to meet that man. He said, would you like to be healed? The man said, I have no man. There was no correlation translation between what Jesus said and what the man said. He said, would you like to be healed? He said, I have no man. Would you like to be rich? I have no man. Will you like to see? I have no man. Will you like to hear? I have no man. Will you like to be rich? I have no man. Would you like to win the lottery? I have no man. Because that's the mind of some people that without man they can't make it. And unfortunately, a lot of people, some people on the pulpit help them by bringing up a false doctrine of destiny helper. You won't find that anywhere in scripture. You won't find that is a concussion of men, just to hold people captive, right? A destiny helper. I have no man. Destiny helper. I have no man. You don't need man. All you need is God and yourself. That's all. That's all you need. God and yourself. You're an unbeatable team. God and yourself. You're an unbeatable team. God and yourself. You're an unbeatable team. Right? Do what you can. When you do what you can, help will come. Right? Help will come. It's what would say there's a Chinese wisdom would say that when you're ready, the teacher appears. Right? When you're ready, but don't forget the teacher does not appear. Help does not appear. What this the phantom destiny helper does not appear until you're ready. Who determines if you're ready or not? Not God, is you. It's you. It's the day you stand up and decide, I want to face life. I want to stop being beaten by life. I want to stop living under pity party, being at the mercy of the elements of life. And that's what, Isaac spoke to Esau. He said, ha ha ha, I have no more blessing for you. However, there's one thing I have for you that's from the Father. When you are tired of being under the chain, the weight, the burden of your brother, that the shackle will be broken. Guess what? It wasn't God, it wasn't Isaac, it's you. When you're ready, when the burden is you feel the burden enough and you believe that you don't want it anymore. When you're ready, when you're ready, you can break the shackles. But for as long as you say, I have not the blessing, oh, he stole my blessing. Oh, hey, it went in my behalf. But as long as you're giving excuses, you always be in bondage. But the day you say enough is enough, that's the day you will come out of that bondage. It's all you. It's not a destiny helper. It's no pastor, no bishop, no imam, nobody but you. You decide the day that you are ready to be free. And the day you decide you're ready to be free, God will say amen and walk with you. Stop waiting. Time to start moving. Time to start doing something about that thing you've always wanted. It's time to start doing what you can do so that God can do the things you cannot do. The time to start moving towards your destiny, time to start moving towards your vision, time to start moving towards your dream, time to bring it to pass. Stop waiting. Stop letting life pass you by. Right? So that's not what self-efficacy is. I believe that I can do it. Right? And there are about four factors that help you in building that. We'll talk about that next year. But that was proposed here by Albert Bandura, right, in the year 1997. So it's a concept that's not too old, just 28 years old. And there are four ways by which you can build self-efficacy. There's four ways by which you can decide to come from under the burden of the weight of Jacob. There are four ways by which you can rise to life. There's four ways by which you can wake up from your sleep. There's four ways by which you can begin to build wealth. There are four ways by which you can be free today, not tomorrow. Today, not tomorrow. The first one is called the mastery of experience, right? Begin to do something. Don't be idle. You're not going to be better by being idle. Begin to do the things you can do today. As you do them, you do them. Stretch yourself a little. Do them. Stretch yourself a little. Get comfortable with that new level. Stretch yourself a little. Get comfortable with that level. You build self-efficacy by proficiency, by practice, by exercising yourself in that thing that you want to do. Guess what? You see me confident today. I have my beloved brother here, Ben. He's known me for a while. He's probably surprised the way he's probably not seen me, teach at this level, in a while. But see, I'm a different person doing this, but I wasn't born this way. I wasn't born this way. This has come by practice. It's come by doing it. I've grown into it. I've grown into it. I've grown into it by doing it. I've grown into it by doing it. By grown into it by doing this. I'm a better person today than I was last Sunday. I'm a better person today than I was last month. I'm a better person today than I was last quarter. I'm a better person today than I was, in January. I'm a better person today than I was last year. I keep on getting better. I'm getting mastery by practice, mastery by practice, mastery by practice. And you can do that also. You can get better on what you're doing by doing it, exercising yourself in it, learning by doing, learning by doing. You get more comfortable, it becomes second nature. And once you're comfortable at that level, you stretch and get to another level, stretch and get to another level, and keep getting better. That's one of the ways by which you build self-efficacy. That's one of the ways you build belief in yourself. That's one of the ways you get off the burden of Jacob. Get from under the burden of Jacob and declare your own freedom. Right? The next part, that's where you can build freedom. You can get yourself free from the burden of Jacob. It's called the vicarious experience. It's learning from the experience of other people. If other people can do it, you too can do it. They don't have two heads. If Steve Jobs can become the kind of person that he became, why can't you? He's a man of like passion, just like you are. The question is, what did he do? Can you pay the same price? Right? Yes, his starting point is not the same as your starting point. But to your starting point, what's the equivalent of what he did that you need to do if you're going to become as good as he is? We have here in Nigeria, we have Dangote. He's the richest black man. What did he do? How did he start? Bring it to where you are right now, where he was. Find out what did he do at your level? How did he start? What did he do differently? Begin to do something. Begin to do something different. Begin to do something about getting yourself out of where you are, getting yourself away from the shackles that have held you bound. Begin you to bring yourself away from your limitations. Begin to do something about it. Begin to do something about it. Begin to do something different. Begin to do something that will take you closer to your dream. Because you can learn from other people. You can learn from Dangote. Find someone you can learn from because success is repeatable. Success is they just success is based on life principle, right? They're based on principles, they're based on laws, they're natural laws that apply everywhere, that I can apply to everybody, right? If it can work for A, it can work for B, if it can work for B, it can work for C, if it can work for C, it can work for D, if it can work for E, it can work for you. So we can learn from the experience of other people. Find someone that's been in a similar situation like you are. Scripture tells us that we're surrounded by a host of weaknesses. That also weaknesses that have been where you are right now. And they made it. There's no reason why you shouldn't make it. They made it. There's no reason why you shouldn't make it. Some of them were worse than you, yet they made it. If they could make it, you can make it. You have no excuse. If they could make it, you can make it. Some of them did not have the things that you have. Some of them, based on where they were, there was no chance for them, but you have a chance. Why are you not making it? When uh uh FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR, was president in the White House. He was incapacitated. He had polio. He was on a wheelchair. There were beggars around close to the White House that were better than him, that could work, that had better physical abilities than he did. They were begging. He was president. They were begging. He was president. He did not rely on his incapacity. He used his mind. He used his brain. What are you using? Get off. Get up. Get up. Get up your butt. Get up that place of pity party. Use your brain. Use your mind. Deliver yourself. Get tired of the burden of Jacob. Get tired of the burden of Jacob. Time to release yourself. Time to free yourself. Time to do something about your limitations. Find out someone that's been where you are today and made it. If that person can make it, you too can make it. That's the second way by which you deliver yourself from the burden of Jacob. There's a third way. It's called verbal persuasion. And verbal persuasion pretty much is you speaking to yourself. You know, it's speaking to yourself, speaking the right word, affirmation, as it were. You know, affirming yourself around it. You know, every day every day right now, for as long as I can do it this month, at least I've been doing it. I've been faithful doing it this month. You know, I've been sending out words of affirmation because words are things. Words are things. All of the world was made by words. God spoke and came into being. The power of words have not changed. They build kingdoms, they build destinies, you know, and sometimes for some people it's just what you need. Just speak those words to yourself because the words you speak to yourself are messaging that you give to your subconscious being, and you're telling your subconscious being to go out and work on your behalf. You will never be able to rise above the programming of your subconscious being. You'll have to do something about that programming. You have to reprogram it to function on your behalf. And one of the ways we reprogram our subconscious being is the way we talk to ourselves, the stories we tell ourselves. You know, when athletes are ready to go perform, typically they have butterflies in their stomach for and the way you interpret that butterfly in your stomach will make a difference in whether you perform or not. Some people will probably interpret that butterflies in their stomach to say, "Oh, oh, my enemies. Oh, this is not going to be a good day to run. No. Oh, look at the way I'm feeling. Oh, there's a bad omen." If that's what you say, that's what you're gonna get. But experienced athletes know better. They interpret it as something that will help them to perform. You know, they interpreted that, oh, this must be a good day. Look at the way I'm feeling. I'm so ready to do this. Look at, oh, this is a good omen for running today. Guess what? It wasn't a lie. It was just the way they choose to interpret their feeling. One person interpreted it in a way that limits him or her. Another person interpreted it in a way that enables him or her. Guess what? They're both going to get their result. It's all tied back to what Henry Ford said. He says, if you believe you can, you're true, you're correct, you can. If you believe you can't, you're correct, you can't. It's up to the way you believe and what you say to yourself. What you say to yourself is life, is destiny, you're a prophet, right? And the last one is what we call the physiological state and effective, and which is probably tied to the third one. You know, it's just the way your body is conditioned. Like I told you, you see, I'm talking to you and I'm looking so confident, and I think you like it because my confidence is doing something to you, whether you know it or not. You know, they spoke about Jesus. They said, "Oh, he has taught like no other person has taught. Oh, look at him. He's talking with authority." Oh, it makes a difference to the hearers, the way you talk. It makes a difference. My physiology makes a difference to our communication here. Your physiology makes a difference. You're a runner. Your physiology is important to everything that you do because your physiology affects your emotions, and your emotions affect your performance. Your physiology also makes you ready to do the work if it's a physical work, right? It affects the way people sees you. It affects your aura. It affects your presence because you could be present and not present if your physiology is not agreeing with you. If you're all there, all leaning on something, all feeling sickly, people will not see you. You don't have presence. But when your physiology agrees with you, when it agrees with your aura, you know, it makes a difference in the way people receive you and the blessing they receive or not receive of you, right? It makes a difference in your performance because it affects your emotions, right? So those are ways in which you can come up the burden of Jacob, right? Don't give excuse. No excuse. No excuse is good. The copy ain't coming. This is on you. You gotta do it. You gotta save yourself. You gotta get off the burden of Jacob and leave. Declare your freedom, right? Alrighty. So Rasmus Ankersen says, in my experience, top performers are able to pinpoint extremely precisely the moment that they found inspiration and thought to themselves, that's what I want to be. At some point in time, they got born again. That's what we say is a born again experience, right? When you met Jesus, that point you met Jesus, that point of decision, It's for some people in the place of marriage, is that point where they met their wife. They say, glory came over. Somehow they just knew the fire lit when they saw the woman, they saw the girl, right? There is an encounter also in top performance, a time when you know, I don't want to be this, I want to be this. When it came to teaching, one time in my life, I told the Lord I wanted to do this. I said, with all the trouble I've been through, I would love to help people, not to go through the same kind of trouble I went to. So what you see as a commitment I made some 40 years ago. 40 years ago, I made a commitment to the Lord and said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to help people see the light, help people not to go through confusion, not everybody not be lost in all this Christianese language, so this confusion, deception of usage of words, people that don't know God. Do I see they sleep with God? You know, Eh, it's like I made a commitment 40 years ago. That's why I do this. That's why I do this. That's why I'm a teacher. That's why all I do is shed light. I'm not one that's gonna use big language, big words, and make you feel I'm spiritual or I'm this. Sorry to disappoint you. If you're a religious person, expecting me to be religious and all. Sorry, oh. I've been doing this the last 42 years, right? But I don't carry that on my shoulders, right? So work hard, stay focused, and passionate will show up in ways you never expected. When you work hard and stay focused, passion will come. You think I'm passionate about what I'm doing here? Because I work hard at it. I fall in love with it. I fall in love with it. I sleep in it. I wake up with it. It's all part of me. So there's passion because I've given my life to it. Give 110% to anything, you'll have passion around it. Easy to have passion on anything. What you give yourself to, you'll have passion around, right? It will help your performance because your passion will drive your commitment, right? So it's all about how much you truly want it. That is a true catalyst for change. You gotta want it bad enough to be willing and able to pay the price involved. You gotta want it bad enough to stay true and fight the pain. You are not going to get to the other side unless you truly want it. Unless you truly want it, you ain't gonna get to the other side. You gotta want it, right? So the starting point of all achievement is desire. If you're going to achieve anything, you have to desire, you have to want it, right? Because there's pain, there's a price to pay. You won't pay the price for something you don't want, right? You want to marry someone, there's a bright price to pay. You won't pay the bright price for what you don't desire, or what you don't want. All right. Keep this constantly in mind, right? The starting point is desire. You gotta desire. Weak desire brings weak results. If you have a weak desire, you're gonna get a weak result. Just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat, right? You gotta want it. Some people want money, but they don't want it because someone has deceived them that money is the root of all evil. So they deceive them so that they can take the money from them. You want money, but someone has told you is a weak, but that same person wants the money from you. That person wants to help you from the evil, but he can hold the evil, you can't hold the evil. Those are thieves, right? If you want money, go for it, right? Money it's not is a lust for money that's the root of all evil, not the love of money, right? So the word love there in use in scripture, you need to understand what it's saying. When you talk about love, it's on a spectrum, right? It's on a spectrum of agape to eros, right? And the word there is lost in its meaning, not love itself, right? So nature yields our most profound secrets to the man who is determined to uncover them. If you really want it, you will get it. And nature won't yield to you unless you really want it. It's going to test you. God's going to test you also. So Moses Kiptano says that recovery. Now talking about the need to, he uses the word recovery is as important as training, but not recovery in the same sense most people understand it. If you train, if your brain is working while you are recovering, it means that you're actually not recovering at all. Quality recovery is training. Just an extra point in terms of recovery when you're training. And probably also comes with what I do here or whatever it is that you gotta do. It needs to be balanced, right? It needs to be balanced. As much as I prepare for this, our life is a balance. You still need to sleep well, you know, you need to sleep well, eat well, exercise well. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dari. Uh, you need to sleep well. You have to get a balance in life, and and so knowing how to do balance the different areas of your life is important. Knowing how to do this and also still be able to do other things in my life is important. And one of the things that was learned, and I think that comes next year, from Winston Churchill, one of the ways he was able to conserve his energy going to World War II with all the requirements, he had a way of being able to disconnect himself, unplug himself, such that he wasn't overwhelmed with all the requirements of the Second World War, and we all need to be learn how to unplug ourselves, I guess people get surprised that I'm still a full-time employee and all the things I do, but I am. I got to do 1,001 things and have to find ways to unplug from each one. When I do this and unplug from this one, that part of my brain that was doing this one when I unplugged is resting when I'm doing this one, you know. So just being able to know how to conserve your energy is important so you don't get drained, you don't get into a rut, so it's important to know how to recover and unplug yourself, that keeps you balanced. You need your energy to be able to live and work at a high performance in life, so that's important. You have to learn how to unplug, learn how to balance energies together. And in closing the chapter, it says, doing meaningful work is rewarded in itself, and we're willing to do more work for less pay when we feel our work has some sort of purpose, no matter how small, right? We're willing to do more work. I do this for free, right? Guess what? Because I believe it has purpose, it has an intent. I have other ways of making money. I say I need money, but this is not where I get it from. I'm able to do this for free because I can do other things to make money. This is a calling. I can do it for free. I have careers I do to make money. So you need to get a balance, between all of that. If it's a calling, you need little or nothing because it gives you joy. It makes you happy. Even my career, I got to do for nothing because I enjoy doing it. That's not to say I don't like the money. I need the money. I need to get the bills paid, but I enjoy what I do. I do what I love. I love what I do. It just makes it interesting. You know. So hard work without meaning is a prison. You need to have meaning in everything you do so you can enjoy it. Ask those that work with me, they'll tell you I enjoy what I do. I have fun, good relationships. I pretty much work for free, because I love what I do. I do what I love. And we all can do that also. Really, that's the end of the book. That's all that we have to close this book. The gold mine effect, cracking the secrets of high performance. That's all we get to do here today. Uh, Yes, where we on a time marker? Did I? We typically shoot this. Oh, and we just had the 1 hour mark. All right, good. We did the 1 hour to do this, and my sister came along today. How are you doing? All right, while she gets the voice. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Thanks for stopping by. So next week we're going to start with our next book. It's going to be the confidence game. We're going to learn about the confidence game and play the confidence game with one another. So that's what we're going to do from next week, and we'll see how long that will take us. This one has taken us 8 weeks, 8 months to do. and we're done with it today. We'll start with this one next week. So see you next week. God bless you. Oh, Malade, how are you? All right, she's not finding a
I'm,
voice.
I'm
Good.
fine.
You're good. Thanks for
Yeah.
stopping. Thanks for coming. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
I hope you enjoyed it.
It was great.
Good, good. Happy to hear. Happy to hear.
Mhm.
Great. Yeah. Thanks, Ben on Facebook. Thanks, Dari on Facebook. Thanks for stopping by. Let me be sure I mention everybody. Yeah, Ben, Dari, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for those on my blog site. Thanks for those on YouTube. God bless you all. See you next Sunday. Have a great week. God bless you. Bye bye.